Hi, how are you guys today? Today we are dual streaming, but our focus is here today over here on our YouTubers. Okay, now we today we're going to talk about something that I find very interesting. Okay, because it really speaks to me. The reason why it really speaks to me is because let me take off the glasses and the glare. I can't do it. Okay, so I want to talk about the TV show on TLC that premiered last Sunday. Okay, so Sunday you guys will get a new episode, but it's called Brother Husbands. It's on TLC. The second episode will come out on Sunday. Now, when it comes to Brother Husbands, the show itself looks interesting. Now, I'm going to give you a quick snippet. I'm thinking if you guys like it, and if people like this particular section, I will continue to do a little review on the episode itself because we all know TV BS is a lot, right? So TV, there's a lot of stuff that they just focus on, and then you try to give them feed the need for TV, right? So there are some things that are could be true and could be not true, but I want to see how this goes because this reflects my life and what it could be. So I want to know if they're reflecting it correctly. And we know TV sometimes BS is really important to me that I'm being represented in the correct way because I don't like to see when people BS or when people fake things, especially when it's already hard enough to be around a lot of people who do not agree with what I'm doing and how I do it, right? So we want to make sure we're putting out our best foot forward. Obviously, people are going to do it differently. So we're not in here to review that. Kind of reviewing the show, what it's like, and then kind of we'll get some reactions on it. I'm hoping that one of my partners will participate. I might not get them all because I might not get them all, but hey, one is fine enough. Okay, so okay, hi there against the odds. Thank you. So I was like I said, I'm dual streaming, but we're just gonna focus right now on our review. So our brother husbands. Okay, I'm just gonna rate down here for you guys. Brother husband right now has a 5 on IMDb. I'm sure I know why. But 64% of Google users say they liked it. Okay, but it just started. Um, there are a few different couples. Now, I want to show you guys because I want to do it this way. I don't want um, to get all effed up for foolishness. So I'm gonna go to some pictures. Sorry if my phone. We're gonna get the picture here. So, oh Lord, praise them. Okay, so I might have my lights, but okay, so we're gonna get that up there just for one. I could have did on the screen up there, but I'm too lazy. Anyway, so those two. So this woman right here. Okay. She is the person that I'm really interested in getting to know more about. And the reason why she's the number one person that I would like to get to know more about is because she's the one who looks mostly like me. Now, I think there's another couple on there or another lady who has 3 partners and she's trying to add a fourth. So I see that, but I don't know how that is yet because we haven't got to them. Okay, so this woman with her 2 husbands, and she also has been with her husbands for a very long time. She's been with one for 26 years, I believe she said, and her other partner she's been with for years, or 10 or 12 years, one of the two. And that is a long, long time to be with someone. So it's showing longevity, it's showing that it can work and that process. So that is wonderful. I'm glad they chose uh those particular combination of people. That is amazing. I love to see that. And that gives also the people who are starting off who haven't had as long as experience in that to know that there's a possibility. Now, from what I've heard, because like I said, I haven't got that research done right now is that some people are saying that the couples on the show that they aren't truly polyandry. So the word polyandry basically means a woman who has more than one husband, um, or a husband and his husband. So remember different words. We want to be really careful in the poly community. Words, especially when you're using them, are very, very important because you're identifying who you are and what you actually will allow, what you won't allow with your partners. So you want to be careful. So we're gonna go in here if you don't know. So polyandry, okay, and I be careful with everything you guys do here, okay. It is a form of poly, okay. Um, and it's when a woman has more than one husband at the same time. And on top of that, they can get married. Like when you add in anything that like a gimme is you're gonna be married, okay? So now if you are, let me just go down here. There's one part I want to make sure you guys know. So a lot of people are saying they aren't truly polyandry because they have their partners are allowed to have other women as partners. Okay, that is something that I have seen strongly in the community where there's a distinction between polyamorous people and polyandry and polygamous. So what I usually tell people is this is very, very important. So polygamous, usually in a polygamous relationship, the women are not bisexual. That is not that's not what we're doing. Okay. Usually in that situation, they are sister wives. They love each other, they have fun with each other, do all those things. Can something sexual have happened and that mean it's okay? Sometimes we may be in the same room. You deciding to have a sexual moment with your partner is not dictating your sexuality. You could have been in the room with your partner and just watched him do something with another woman and scooted over and did it with him. That is not always the case. It could just be a moment of a sexual moment. So same thing with polyandry. Same thing. Men do not have to, and most likely are not. This is very important. Most likely are not, and that is the big distinction. Your partner should not have any other partners but you. That's basically what it is. Now, if there's different kinds of realms where the other men partners may be together or the women partners may be together, yes, and that's where everyone gets real like, oh, the word means this, and you're listen. So when you look at it that way, and then you go to polyamorous. Polyamorous is build your own relationship. That's the best way I like to put it. In simple, it is basically build your own relationship. So you can have partners who may have other partners. You could have partners who don't want any other partner. You could have two women, two men. You can have two men, and then you can have a tripod. It's all listen. It's all kinds of stuff. That's where I put polyamorous. Is build your own relationship. Polygamy really should be, and you want to just be strict with the words. Your female partner should not want to be sexually intimate with each other. They should just be coexisting, basically, or platonic partners. And then that's the same thing for polyandry. But people are now saying, or not people now saying, but a lot of times you'll have situations where you're trying to explain to someone, yeah, I have partners. My partners aren't seeking other partners at this time. Maybe don't want to ever do that. And they're not with each other. They're just with me. So it's like you look polyandry. Are they allowed to go with other people? Yeah, if they want to. I don't really care, but they aren't. Oh well, that means they are polygamous or polyandry. I was like, whatever. So for me, it doesn't matter as long as I'm identifying what I am, and then I get if you need more detail, I'll give it to you. I'm fine. So that's where that word soup I say is just kind of gets murky and is annoying. The words really should be there to identify something in a scientific manner, or if you're really trying to identify what the person is doing, so you can have clarity. If that's not the case, then the words usually are kind of you know what I'm saying, like as long as you're in that realm. If you're a woman with two male partners and your male partners are with each other too, I would still call that polyandry. They're with you and they're with each other. Or if your partners are just with you, you're their main partner, and they may have sexual interactions here and there with other women, but they don't want any other actual partners with anyone else, I would call that polyandry too. So these are things that, like people say, the murky water. But at the end of the day, what you're doing is very similar. You're gonna have more in common with a polyandry woman in that situation than someone who's polyamorous. You just are, because the idea is that when you have two male partners, it is different, and interacting with two male partners is going to be something that you're not going to find always in polyamorous situations. A lot of polyamorous situations are built with a lot of other women involved in the relationships. So you may be a woman and have one, there's a lot of 1D policies and polyamorous. And then even if they're not, some of those partners, they just have webs relationships. So all this stuff I'm saying probably sounds really scary to you. So we're gonna stay off that. Like I said, I went down the rabbit hole. But the Brother Husbands um show itself, to me right now, I like it so much. It's intrigued me. The lady that I said I'm interested in getting to know more about or seeing her show is there's a lot going on there, and I would like to see it. She has a lot going on with um adding new partner, adding new a third. Oh, adding a third is something. A really committed third is an experience. Now, your first gentleman that you added, he will be calm and cool because he already did this and he okay with number two. And then number three, he's like, I didn't do this before, right? No, number two is like, I ain't did this before. There's a new one. Oh, I don't know. He's going through a whole nother experience. And he may even, if I say the show, it was like funny to me because you could see number one was like, this man's tripping. This is how I felt. Because it's like he's almost getting a taste of his own medicine. He didn't know how it felt to be number two, and now he's kind of getting a taste of it. But that's also a good time to get to ask that other person, like, when they had the experience, hey, what happened when she went out? Like, did you feel this way with me? Like, oh my gosh, you have someone to talk to. So it is an experience. Now, what I will say is there is in the show also has different stages of polyandry. There is a gentleman and his wife, and they're just now talking about her going out and getting another partner. Um, I think that is something that's interesting because this is their first time and they're talking about cheating and they're married and all that stuff. So their experience is more of the we just started out brand new to opening up our actual marriage, which is a process. And then there is another lady who has a husband, and she already has a second one, and that she's just talking to, and she's interested in maybe adding another partner. So her experience is very, very interesting too because she is a Caucasian woman. She has a Caucasian husband, and then her partner is a black male, and then he also now is there is an interaction right there. Now it's different from the black males because they have their own struggle. Okay, they're black males have their own struggle. When a black male, I always notice when there's a Caucasian male first and there's a black male second, that flow seems easier. Always senior, and I don't want to say too much. I want other partner to tell his part of this, or I would like him to tell me, and then I can interpret to you. But that experience is different for a black male to be number two than number one. It just will be. It just will be. So that's why I think that's interesting dynamic. It's biracial, right? Biracial relationships already have stuff that goes on, and so that's interesting. So they're cool. So like I said, there's another lady who has she has three husbands or three boyfriends, whatever the heck she has, and she's trying to add another. That is not that's she got a squad. But like I say that, I in the same words of me saying that, like I'm up there too right now. Like I'm doing a lot. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to you're not purposely trying to do a lot, but I am talking to quite a few people. And that's what happens when you find really good connections in a short amount of time and you're still talking to people, getting to know them and things like that. And then when you decide to really go forward with someone long term, um, that is just a wonderful thing. And when you want to do that, your idea of what it could look like totally can change. So this to me It's a wonderful thing to see how someone else is interacting with their partners, how their partners feel, what kind of struggles do they have that are similar to mine. This actually, for right now, as it stands, I am going to continue to watch it. I believe I will still review it on here, or at least talk about it on here if that's the case. Um, I really like it. Now I will say this because I saw someone else review this, and I want to get their names right. I think it's Mary and Ama, AMA, and they have a podcast and they were reviewing Finding His Sister Wife for a while, and then they transitioned into this one, and they said they didn't really like the show. So when we head down this road, I just want to mention this is very, very important. When you see any show, regardless if it's monogamous or not, you're going to see where people are going to fixate on sex, money, and drama. That is what the show is there for. So even if you have this and you're like interesting, you're not looking at a True Life MTV. That's why I actually like True Life MTV when it was out. If you don't know what that is, you need to look it up. True Life, they actually went like they went people's houses, like they like some of the stuff probably was tweaked a little bit, yes, but not really. It was raw. Like that is awesome. This one is like they get to see your nice looks and you look nice, you're prepped. No, True Life, you see these people waking up looking raw. You know what I'm saying? Like you saw it. That is a whole different experience. I liked everything of True Life, and that gave me a real experience, and I felt that. So when it comes to polyandry right now, and I'm seeing it in the eyes of entertainment, it is different. So they're only going to fixate on that, and so. What Mary and Alma were saying was, oh, it's really all about sex. This woman just wants more sex. And no, it is not always about sex. To be real honest with you, it just makes sense. Listen to this. You have more than one partner and they're male, they're probably going to have some sexual things that they like to talk about. That's probably number one that hits their mind when they talk about their woman going someone else's. Boom, she gonna touch this man. That is number one. And that's just what it is. There's no in between. There's no confusion. It is what it is. Men think about sexual stuff more in that mindset of they're not thinking, oh my, I'm gonna go on a date with this guy and he has other wives, and the wife might be like, I hope he ain't gonna go out there, that dirty girl. But no, they're not thinking like that. They're not thinking that. They don't give a fuck about that. Women are like, oh, I'm gonna see her and we're gonna hug. A man, when he walks into a room and he is his woman is sitting next to the other new guy, he is thinking a whole different. He's like, who is this man? I don't really like this guy. Like, what does he want? Like, I know he's trying to smash because when I was with her, I wanted to smash. Like, they is not on the stage. It's not the same. It is not the same. And see some women are like, well, I just hope she's nice. Like, what if she's not nice? Like, they don't give a fuck if she's nice. They don't care. They don't care. Half the time they don't even want to interact with the other male, especially if they're monogamous. They don't want no part in that. They're like, this guy cool. Who she bringing in this house? Like, they ain't worried about that other stuff. That is not. They worry about, is this man trying to get in here and get a little cop feel and run off? That is where it's at. And that's true. And if you heard her say, and I understand what Mary and Alma were saying, I appreciate their view because it made me think. And I was like, okay, so they see this lady's talking about their sex life is a little bit different. Now, this is very also true. In different stages of your relationship and where you are with your partner will dictate the sexual interaction between your partners. And sometimes when sex gets lower, you as a person with multiple partners will seek out another partner, not like in the street, but like your other partner to fulfill that. If that's what, if you're really have a high sex drive, your partner's low. Unlike monogamy, where you just wait it out because you're just caring person, you can be caring and still want to have some fun. And instead of having to sit there or contemplating cheating or thinking like being sad and have bad to now yourself, you can go get that fixed and go about your day and still love your partner and let them have their time without. And in some of these situations, like the gentleman on Brother Husbands, he was saying like, I like to be by myself. Like, I'm good with the amount of sexual interaction I have. Like, the sexual load really is on him. Like, he probably ain't even bothered by it. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's cool and chilling. If he wasn't cool and chilling, he would not be sitting there. I promise you. If he wanted something, he could go get it. He's saying, I'm good. There are some men who are on a schedule sexually who are cool with that. And when they with you, it is what it is. They may only need twice a week. They may that just you get into a flow. And that's with monogamy too. You get into a flow. You're like, oh, you just have sex once a week or twice a week. People are like, oh, that's a long time. Yeah, you're out of the honeymoon phase. Ain't nobody worry about that. Hey there, best friend. You're not in the. We're talking about TLC brother husbands. So they're not in that. They're not on that vibe. Hey, Black, shut up. So we definitely ain't, worried about that. But there are people who have different sexual energy, different sexual moments they want to have with their partners, and different sexual, like, just drive. You can have a low drive, or you may have a lower drive than your partner, and that may a focus on your life, but it also your other partner um relieves some of that. I don't care what you say. I've had it happen in monogamy and not in monogamy where I've had so the first time I thought it was interesting when I heard it was when I had my two long-term partners and I was like, talking to them and we were having time and one of them, he had an injury and he was like, I just really am just not feeling doing this. I'm hurt. And he was like, where is he? Where is he? Like, I want you to stop trying to rape me, basically. And you need to go over there. Where's he at? That's what I was like, oh damn. Oh like damn. Okay, let me that's when I knew that even when and this is before they actually kind of got really cool with each other. So like they were like telling me to go find him. Where is he at? Because this is not working. So that has happened to me. So let me just read this comment over here. To the Brother Husbands. Okay, so Brother Husbands is a show on TLC. We're talking about it on YouTube here. And the brothers are not married, but they're still together with each other. So the brother husbands, okay, brother husbands basically means that they have a brotherhood. They are not together, but they are together in the concept that they're in a relationship with the same woman, and that relationship ultimately means that you are in a relationship with everyone in that relationship, regardless of if it's sexual or not. You are having to interact with that person because it just makes the relationship better. Regardless of people like, oh, I don't want to be friends with him. Yeah, I hear you say that. But at the end of the day, what affects me in my daily life is ultimately at the end of the day, if we're supposed to be in a relationship, a long-term relationship at least, that may be affecting us as a whole, and we work together as a team regardless of how much we're helping each other. um it's just a better situation to be acquainted with those partners. Does that make sense? Okay, and he said they both hitting the same girl. So yeah, these two men are married to they're not legally married to the same woman. They are married to they've dedicated their lives to the same woman, and they've been with one has been with her for 10 years, 10 or 12 years, and the other one's been with her 26 years. So this is real dedication. Okay. And that's really lovely to see. So and they're Black. That was awesome too. So that's really cool. And yes, thank you for your comment, Black. It's lovely to see you. Albert is here also. But yeah, so this is a really interesting television show. I do like it. I will keep watching it. The only people who I think in that particular show, like I said, is that like I don't know if their partners can have other partners, but it's still polyandry because their main partners are men. I don't care if he go. So I don't even equate someone who having a sexual moment or wanting to go out of the relationship for a sexual moment, just for a sexual moment, is like a no go because that does happen over a lifetime of being together. Say, oh, I've been meeting this girl. I don't know, kind of look like want to try something. Okay, like what's I got to do? Like, what's that mean? At the end of the day, you're still here with me, and we still had a conversation about it. In monogamy, you can't do that. And a lot of people say, well, I just don't feel that way. No, so you have been attracted to someone else and you have thought about possibly, oh, if I wasn't married. If you had said that was it. But now if I say, yeah, you can still be married and do that and it won't be an issue, you have a conversation with me or make sure we're not violating each other's boundaries and you're okay, then we'll go from there. So it's a lot different. So definitely this is one of the things I'm like, whew, I'm excited to see more of. I can't watch on Sunday because I work, but maybe on Monday I will get to take a little look at that and then do review maybe on Lord, maybe Monday, hopefully. So I'll let you guys get caught up on these and then take a look. Now let me go back to Mary and Alma. Sorry, I jumped back and forth for a second. Mary and Alma, when they did a review, did they say? I'm trying to think if they said anything else that was something. Okay. Wait a second. So Albert says, so what is it when a polyandry links with a polygamy people? Oh, okay. So we're gonna bring that up. We're gonna have a poly talk here after this. We're just gonna focus TLC right now. But that is a good question. So if you guys want to check out the next live, because I'm gonna do little pieces of lives today. So I'm gonna end this one. I'm gonna go straight into another one. But basically, yeah, talking about when polypods in different dynamics decide to come together. And I do have experiences with that because I don't mind going wherever. Wherever it fits, baby. Wherever it fits. Okay, wait. You know, yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, but this whole thing is that when Alma and Mary were talking and they did say it was about sex. Sex is a big part of being poly because you have more than one partner. So obviously we're gonna talk about sex more. It just makes sense. You're gonna talk about how that works. But I'll tell you this, we have a lot more deeper conversation about sex. We have a lot more deeper conversation about boundaries and things like that. Because it's necessary. Okay. So that makes sense. So everyone everyone who knows it, y'all making this review is a sample. Okay, we're gonna do next review and we're gonna be more professional. It's ridiculous. Anyway, but we definitely want to let everyone know that this show is worth looking at if you just want a glimpse. But yeah, I know people talk about it's about sex, it's all about money. But any other show you look at, I'm gonna pull out some of those big ones. You know what I'm saying? That all those wives in Atlanta on basketball, why all that stuff you watching, aren't they talking about sex and when they can go get one? Aren't they talking about when they're gonna nail the next guy? Yes, they are. This woman's talking about nailing her boyfriends or her husbands. What is the difference but a title? And that is it. Because if you can go on there and run through, which we've seen on all these shows, women get ran through, men running through women on the shows. And that's just the women and men you see them getting ran through on. You don't know how many side guys and came through there and ran through. Okay, so let's not be petty and okay, let's be realistic. Hey gentlemen, we are dual streaming a lot talking about the show TLC Brother Husbands, just to let you know. So definitely like don't do that. And if you're talking about money and all that drama that happens or people, that is what TV is there for. It's for drama. But if you F all that, okay, yes, you're gonna talk about sex. They asked them about sex. They asked them, "Oh, you getting your needs met?" Oh, I mean, yeah. If they ask you a question, you're supposed to answer it. You're on a TV show. This is not something where you're naturally doing it. I think that is the thing that throws people off when they see me out with my partners, or even me out with my partners and a friend or someone we're considering talking to. We've been asked like, "So, are you guys on a double date?" And I'm like, "No." Or, oh, is that your friend? You know, at times I get looked at where I'll like, because I'm not really the extremely touchy in public or anything. So, like, one partner will be sitting next to me and I'll kiss them and stuff like that. It looks like we're on a girlfriend boyfriend date and our friend's there, right? And then that partner will go away for a second and I'll kiss the other one or maybe talk to them real sweetly for a little bit. And then the other one come back and they'll look at me like, that girl, no, that's cheating. Like, I'm like, no, I didn't do nothing wrong. So, you gotta know this is what it looks like outside. Or you're on a date, someone like, oh, you're a double date. You're like, no. They're like, oh, well, are you two together? You two together? I'm like, no. I'm like, but I'm with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm with them. These are my partners, yeah. And this is our friend. And then that is interesting. And it just, and a lot of times I'm the one who looks like I'm not with anyone because I be the one where I've had we were vetting someone for a little bit and she's very touchy, so she would hold my partner's hands and They walk down the street together, and I'm behind everybody just enjoying the view. And that's just me. I like to see that. That's me. I don't need y'all to touch me. Matter of fact, they have to come. They always pull me up and try to get me to participate, and I do try, but like naturally, I like being there. That's where I like to be, and so I like to watch and view, and that makes me happy. So for me to see that is very nice, and I don't really care about anything else in those moments. So it definitely is interesting to be out here, and when you're asked those questions on TV and stuff, just remember that these shows, they are looking for those answers. They want them to say, "Oh, it's really about sex." Is it? Is it? Because most times someone gets caught cheating, they ask them, "Is it was it only about sex?" Most guys say, "Yeah, about sex." Sometimes they don't want just sex; they want somebody to treat them nice. Okay, comments in below. Hey, Black, what you doing? Let's go here. Okay, I don't know this one. Hey, Dino, I'm a quick question. Is it rude to ask a lady if she is in a poly lifestyle? If so, how do you identify ladies into poly? Okay, it is not rude to ask women, are they into poly? I do not think that's rude. Of course, you should ask someone, are they into poly? How else would you know? I would first though, um, obviously with anyone just trying to get to know them, let them know that maybe you're into it first. If you want to find people who are actually poly, you can go onto like there are lots of Facebook groups. They're all over the place. And if you also are interested in finding women, it is harder to find women on apps. I will give you that. It is hard to find women on monogamous apps. There are some poly apps. There's monogamous apps. It's hard to find women because they they read your profile. Half the time they're swiping, they don't like you anyway because they just do that. Let's just be honest. On apps, it's like you just have to be chosen, right? So if you don't say the right thing or you're a little nervous or you do something wrong on the app, you're just screwed. But in person, it is different. And so there's they have parties for poly people, poly groups. There's lots of places. You just have to get that information, usually online. Online. Locally, they have a lot of things you put in like Omaha groups, blah, or let's name mine. But anyway, wherever you are and put it in there. But if you're in a bigger city, there's a poly group around. I promise you. A lot of times where you find poly people, they hang around lifestylers because even though we're poly and we're separate from lifestyles, we hang around each other because it's easier. Lifestyles people are already kind of out there. Everyone knows you can be a little freaky, right? Well, they kind of throw us in there. So if you want to actually find people who are maybe poly, start going to lifestyle parties, start going to lifestyle events, because when you go in there, it's different. And then so somebody be like, well, I'm into poly, and you'll hear them. There are women who go into lifestyle places and they're actually poly. But the Facebook groups are the best. And then I will say after that, I would go to locally, um, but you can usually find a local Facebook group. And I'm saying that from a person who lives in a place where you really don't see that. So definitely do that. And it's not wrong to ask a woman those kind of questions because that is something that's really, really important to you. And that's the kind of life you want to live. And someone asked me recently too, they said, well, I'm going to be, I only, I, well, they're cheating. Okay, they're cheating. And I say, why do you keep cheating? And they're like, well, if I tell my girlfriend I want to do lifestyle, she's not gonna like it. She'll break me. I said, but you're gonna break up with her because you want to date other women, and you have to choose on your lifestyle to let her make the choice to be with you and let you go with someone else. So then really the choice is on her and not necessarily on you because you've presented something that you're into, and then they have to make a decision. Did that make sense? Like they're making a decision. A lot of times people like nervous that, oh my God, I have to break up with them. Tell me what it is so I can say yes or no. Give me the opportunity to say yes or no. And then we go from there. And that's fair. So absolutely let them choose it and then we'll go from there. Okay, stop. You guys are getting distracted. We're going to go to Ask Miss Polly next. Jeez. So I'm going to end this live. I appreciate you guys for looking at the live. And then we're going to go into Ask Miss Polly, which is more open to broader questions. So, Zdeno, thank you for asking your question. session. And please join us again and subscribe. Anyone else who's new here, please do the same if you're interested in hearing more things about brother husbands or poly questions. We have Ask Miss Poly, we have Poly by Nations. We talk about love in different locations and also poly. So if you guys like to do that, please check us out. I'm gonna let you guys go from this live, and you guys we can roll into the next and then keep going. So we're gonna do Ask Miss Poly, and that way I can dual stream a little bit better and give attention to both areas. Okay, so we will do that. Thank you guys for checking me out today, and bye.